Okay, now let's move forward to the next lab. And in this lab, we are actually going to focus on GitHub Actions. As we all know, and we have discussed this thing in the previous module, that Azure Pipelines has the best alternative, which is GitHub Actions. If you do not want to use Azure Pipelines somehow, or maybe you do not want to use Azure DevOps, you can do CI/CD and everything which you are able to do in Azure Pipelines using GitHub Actions actually. And today, that's what exactly we are going to see in this. As you can see right now, I have logged in into my lab environment. Now, for your kind of information, this is one of the lab in which you have to use your personal GitHub account. So you're not allowed to have any kind of an account inside this. Yes, you will have a subscription of Azure where you're going to deploy resources, but the pipeline execution is going to be done through GitHub. And that's the reason you can use your personal GitHub account in this. So am I also going to do the same thing. As of now in the lab, the first thing which I have to do is create a service connection. So that's a repeated process which we are doing in every lab. I'll just quickly do this. I'll go to my DevOps portal, sign in with my credentials, which are provided in the lab environment. And remember, these credentials are going to be used in DevOps as well as Azure portal, but this is not going to be used in GitHub. Okay, so stay signed in, yes. And the separate tab, I'm going to open portal.azure.com, which is obviously going to have the same credentials associated with that. I can see my Azure portal is having resource group, which is having the RG eShop on web kind of a resource group, and this is empty resource group. Resources will be deployed inside the same resource group, but this time it's going to happen through GitHub Actions. If I go back to my DevOps organization, I should have my eShop on web project available here. So that's it for this particular first step. It's showing me service connection creation is successfully done. So I think that's what we have to do right now. It's not successfully done, sorry. I have to go to project settings. I have to go to service connections, and I have to create a service connection as per this instructions. I'll choose Azure Resource Manager. Perfect. Then I'm going to associate app registration. Resource group is going to be RG eShop on web. Service connection name will be Azure Subs. And then I'll click on save. Now service connection is successfully done. I'll click on next and we'll start the lab, which is implement GitHub Actions for CI/CD. Now remember, in this lab, we are going to do multiple things. We will learn how to import and configure GitHub repository for CI/CD. We'll create Azure Service Principal for GitHub Actions for authentication. That service principal is basically going to have a unique identity, which you can use for authentication. Then we are going to implement GitHub Action workflows for CI/CD. And remember, this is one of the lab in which we will do CI and CD both. Basically, at the end of this particular lab, you will be having a deployed application. Yes. We are going to set up GitHub environment for manual approval gates. There's something which is called approval gates. We'll see that as well. And we'll deploy application using GitHub Actions, in which we are also going to use some of the secrets as well. So GitHub secret is also going to be used in this. This is a very interesting lab. So let's just start with this. And as the first step is saying that you import your eShop on web to your GitHub repository. So this is something which we're going to do right now. And then create a public repository in GitHub and import eShop on web. For this, I need to open the new tab in my browser. I will go to github.com. As it is mentioned here, sign in using your account and select new to create a new repository. So I have to sign in using my account. I'm using my credentials, not the lab user. I'm using my credentials here. Hopefully I remember my password. I have to take care of my authentication. Let me just quickly do that. Do I have a verification code? Yes, I have. It's 501345. Yes, I've successfully logged into my own personal account. And now I'm just going to click on new. I'm going to create a new repository. So this is saying that you create a new repository with whatever name you want. And you can also open and import the website directly at this. So creating a new repository page, select import a repository. So this is a new repository page. I'm going to click on import a repository link, which is here. The URL is this. Okay, sorry, not this. I have to provide a repository URL, which is this. And then owner is fine. The username for your source repository is mentioned here. So this is going to be my username, which is fine. In the repository name, I can give eShop on web. I think I already have this because I have done this earlier. So I'm just going to put some number at the end of this. So let's say I'm just doing 27. This is eShop on web, 27 is available. So I'm just putting this here. This is going to be a public repository, and I'm going to click on begin import. This import will take some time. Once this is done, we'll go to the repository page, settings, and then we'll configure actions with that. So let's just wait for this. Now you can see right now it's showing me importing complete. Your new repository is available on this particular link. I'll just click on that, and you can see this is my repository which is available. Next, I have to just go to settings and select actions. So this is my settings. Then inside the settings, I have actions, in which general, and then it's saying choose the option, allow all actions and reusable workflows, select on save. So this is allow all actions and reusable workflows, which is already selected, and then I can click on save. This is fine. Now set up your Git repository and Azure access. So let's just do that thing. In order to do this thing, I have to just create an Azure service principal and save it in my GitHub repository. So as a secret actually. So that's what we're going to do. I'll go to portal.azure.com and then look for the resource group and then select on it. So this is my resource group, which I already showed you earlier. So this is my resource group, which is there. Now in this Azure portal, it's saying you go to the Cloud Shell, and then in the Cloud Shell, you are going to execute this command. So let me just open Cloud Shell. In the bash, not PowerShell, so I'm going to choose bash. No storage account required. I'll choose my subscription and I'll click on apply. If you're using Cloud Shell for the first time, then you have to select this kind of a configuration and you have to wait for this to initiate this. Otherwise, that will directly open and then you can switch to bash or PowerShell, whichever you want. My Cloud Shell is open. Yes. The next thing which I have to do is I have to just execute this command, which is azadsp create for RBAC, which is basically going to create a service principal. And in this, we are specifying that this is going to be a service principal for GitHub action with this particular name. The role is going to be contributor for this resource group. Now, in this case, it's saying that make sure you have typed or pasted in a single line. And then in this also, your subscription ID and your resource group is what you have to mention here. Now you can see resource group and subscription ID, both I have to change actually. So let me just put it in a notepad file first, and I'll paste it here so that it will be easier for me to change it actually. So subscription ID is something which you can get from here itself. You can see this is my subscription ID. I will just prepare this in the notepad file. So yeah, this is my subscription ID. I'll copy this, and instead of this ID, I'm going to paste it here. And same way for the resource group, this is my resource group name, RGE shop on web. I'll copy this, and in the notepad file, I'll just paste it. This command is perfect for me. I'll copy this, and I'm going to replace this one with that. Paste as a plain text and hit enter. The command is going to execute and is going to show me one secret, which is going to be created with my client ID, client secret, subscription ID, and tenant ID. And you can see this is just now done. This secret is something which I have to copy. So this is something which I'm going to copy right now from my Cloud Shell. Make sure when you also copy this, you take everything, including the curly bracket. And then I'll just, as of now, I'll just paste this thing in my notepad file. Later on, I have to use this thing in my GitHub. But yeah, right now I just did this. Now there is one more step which is visible in this, which is maybe we need to do Azure App Service kind of a deployment also. So this is something which is saying that you also need to run the following command to register the resource provider for Azure App Service, which you will deploy later. Now this is something which is extra command. Most of the time it is already registered, so you don't need to do that. But I'm just playing safe, so I'm just going to execute this one extra command as well. If it is already registered, there is no harm. If it is not, it's going to register it. So that's it. Registering is still ongoing. You can monitor this by using this. Yeah, it will be registered, so that's not a problem. In the browser window, go back to your eShop on Web GitHub repository, and now we are going to create credentials. So let me go back to my Git repository. In this, it's saying go to settings, select secrets and variables, which is here, secrets and variables. Then we are going to click on actions. And now in this, you can see we have a secrets and variables kind of two different tabs. I can just click on new repository secret. I have to provide proper meaningful name, which they are saying you can provide Azure credentials. And then you can paste the previously copied secret, which is this. So I just pasted it here. This is my full secret, which is available here. And remember, the moment you create a secret, the moment you add the secret, the value of the secret is something which is not going to be visible to you. Only the name is something which is visible. So I'm going to click on add secret. Secret is created here. Now I cannot see the value. I can just use this value using this name. So secret is added successfully. Now this is showing me one important step, which is extra, but in the lab environment is there. It's saying that modify and execute the GitHub workflow. And in order to do this thing, to determine Azure region in which you want to do this thing, you can choose the proper region here. Now, as you can see right now, in my case, my resource group is in West US 2. So I first try with West US 2, and let's see if that region is having available quota and capacity available or not. If this is not available with this region, then I will change and choose other region. But if it is available in West US 2, then I will stick to it for all the deployments. So let's just wait for this to check. Yeah, I think it's showing me success. Region has a capacity available in this, so I can proceed with West US 2. In your case, you can choose the region which is nearby to your location or maybe which is available by your organization. Now in the browser, I have to go back to eShop on Web GitHub repository. So I'm there in the repository, and then go to the code, and then I have to open my YAML file. So this is my code tab. All the workflows of GitHub are going to be available inside .github folder. Inside that workflows, inside that we have eShop on Web cicd.yaml. This is my YAML file, which is basically going to have the workflow configuration. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to follow the steps in order to change it. First, they are saying uncomment the on section. So delete the hash, basically. You can see we have on here. I'm going to delete the hash, but for that I need to click on edit this file. Then I can delete the hash. So uncommenting on is done. So this is basically going to trigger with every push to the main branch and also offers manual triggering. So this is which is there, push and workflow dispatch, which is there. Then they are saying in the environment section, make the following changes where you have to replace each shop on web. And then this is saying which is name. In the resource group variable, it should be the resource group. So basically, this is not going to be this resource group. My resource group name is eShop on web, something like this. So RG eShop on web is the correct resource group name. Location is going to be West US 2 because that's what we selected. Subscription ID, I have to provide my subscription ID, which is this. And I think that's it. In the application name, it's saying replace eShop on web app name with the web app name with some unique alias is associated with that. Now, in this case, I'm going to say eShop on web-web app. And after this, I'm just going to put a name, which is going to be the name associated with the user account. So I think my user account is having a name 59536819. So I'm just going to put that 59536819, which is basically the unique ID associated with this user, which we are able to see here. And yeah, this is going to be my web app name, which is perfectly fine. And then that is perfectly fine. Read the workflow carefully. Comments are provided and understand. Then commit changes. Let me click on commit changes. Commit message is perfectly fine. I'll click on commit changes again. Okay. Once you committed this, because it's committed on push, which is available here, we need to check whether this is getting triggered or not. For that, I need to click on actions. Now I can click on actions directly, but I'll just do one thing. I'll keep this in the separate tab because there are chances some errors or some issues can be there. So I need to make sure that I'm just keeping this open in the separate tab to save my and your time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going into actions now in the separate tab where I can see my newly triggered action is actually going on. So this is perfectly fine. If I go inside this, first step is build and test. And if I go inside build and test, you can see it's going on. Let's just wait for build and test to complete. Then it will go to deploy. This process is going to take a lot of time. So let me just wait here, and the video is going to be fast forwarded with this. So let's just wait for this process to complete. Okay, now as you can see, my build and deploy, both the steps are actually done successfully, which means that the application is already published and it should be visible there. But now let's move forward to this, and it's saying that you go to portal.azure.com and you browse that application. So let me go back to the resource group. This resource group was empty. Let me just refresh this now. Let me click on refresh. I got my app service, which is deployed through GitHub Actions. And now if I click on the browse, it should open that in the new browser tab, which is basically showing me my eShop on web application live, which is cool. Now this is that web application which is running here and is working fine. Now you can see right now in this lab, we have one optional scenario, which is saying that you add manual approval, which is for the pre-deploy using GitHub environments. Now this is something which is an optional part of this lab, but it's really interesting thing. So let's try this. It's going to give you additional knowledge with this. So let's do this. Now it's saying that you go back to the code and then open this following cicd.yaml file. So let me go back to my code. This is my same cicd.yaml file, which is here, which is there. Now it's saying that in the deploy job section, you can find the reference to the environment called development. And this is something which is here. So now let me go to the deploy. So these are the jobs. We have different job sections. And you can see this is my deploy job section, in which it is saying that you can reference an environment called development. This is an environment called development, which is here. And now it's saying that on the repository page, go to the settings. Now go to the settings, and in this, we are going to open environments and select a new environment, which is going to be development. So now this is something which I'm going to do. So now in the repository page, we are going into the settings. This is my repository page. I'm going to settings. We have environments. We'll click on the environment. So it's saying in this new environment. Now I can see I have a development, which is one environment which is already available. Now it's saying you can configure environment with protection rules, variables, and all this, but this is an environment which is created already earlier. I'm just deleting this, and I'm saying delete this environment, and I'll create a new environment with the name development. And then I will say configure environment. By saying that if the environment called development is already exists, then in the environment list, open its configuration by selecting one of the environment name. I already deleted that, so that is fine. Now it's saying in the configure development tab, check options like required reviewers. This is which is here. And then in this, add your GitHub account as a reviewer, select on save protection rules. So I'm going to add my GitHub account here, which is trainer Maruti. So this is my account. I'm adding this here. I can add even more people as well. And then in this is saying add your GitHub account as a reviewer, select on save protection rules. This is save protection rules. This is it. Yes, I think save protection is done. Now let's test the protection rule on the repository page. So go to actions and select eShop on web build and test workflow and select run workflow. So let me go back to this. This is my tab in which I have actions open. We'll go to this eShop on web build and test workflow and then select run workflow. Now this is basically my workflow which is here, which is eShop on web build and test. This is the workflow which is available here. And now I can click on run workflow, and then inside that I'm going to click on run workflow. When I do this, it's going to take some time. It's going to run the workflow. So it's saying select the on the started execution on the workflow, wait for the build and test job to finish. You will see the review request when deploy is just reached. So this is what which is started. I'll click on this, and the moment it will go to the deploy in the build, remember in the build there is nothing required, but when it's go to deploy, at that time it's going to request for that build and test actually. So that's something which I have to wait and watch. So let's just wait for this. Now you can see the build and test is something which is done. If I click on deploy, this time it's saying that waiting for the review. Development needs approval to start deploying changes, which is basically showing me that review is pending. If I click on review pending deployment, it's showing me the development is available here. I can select this, and now I can approve and deploy. The moment I approve this, then only the deploy part is going to start. And as you can see, it is started. Now, I think the deployment is going to take some time, but as you can see, the moment this deployment is done, ultimately it's going to show me the same website at the end of this, which is, we already know it's working fine. So there is no point of waiting for that. The last part of this particular lab is clean up resources. I will take care of that. So don't worry about that. This is the end of this particular lab. And that means that I'm going to see you in the next lab. Thank you so much.